Well, hello, fellow boils and ghouls. Today I have an assortment of fun things to share with you. I haven't made a video in a while, but I've acquired a couple of things that I wanted to share with you today. First up, this beautiful t-shirt from TerrorThreads. Love this design. It was a 72-hour exclusive, and I jumped on it even though I have way too many t-shirts. If you're not familiar with the design, of course, that is the new actor playing Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård, tearing away his face to reveal the classic Tim Curry look. So you got the best of both worlds. Really gorgeous t-shirt. I've always been a big advocate of fright rags. I love their stuff. When they're on point, they're on point. But TerrorThreads is really a great t-shirt company too. Their designs are just great. Really love how much they pop. Like, this really jumps out of the t-shirt. You can really feast your eyes on this design. And it's a bit wrinkled, but that's just because I've worn this a lot recently because I love it so much. So beautiful t-shirt. Couldn't pass that up, even though I have way too many horror t-shirts and t-shirts in general. I also received my first physical backer bonus for Friday the 13th, the game, which is this slipcover, which has been autographed or signed by all the major people involved in the production. Very cool. So up here you got Harry Manfredini, the composer, and he also wrote out the instrumentation for the ki-ma sound effect from the movies and the game. I think that's Kane Hodder right there. Pretty sure. I think he signs his name kind of like that. Pretty sure that's Tom Savini down there. You can pretty much see the name just written out there. Funny story about Tom Savini. I actually shared an elevator with that man back in 2013 when I attended the Texas Frightmare Weekend Convention. So that was strange. He's a very special man, Tom Savini. He's not... let's just say he's not the most open, friendly, sociable person in the world, but it was nice to actually meet him nevertheless. And I think that might be, I think it's either a game director or it's Sean Cunningham. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but very cool nevertheless. And it's got this exclusive design there, which is based on Friday the 13th Part 2, of course. But they've changed out the body so it looks a bit more Kane Hodder-ish. So that's really cool. Kind of looks like a vintage VHS tape. I think that's the look they were going for. And on the back you've got even more signatures from the people at Gun Media and the people responsible for the game. I can't tell you who any of these people are, what their names are, or anything like that, I'm afraid. But nevertheless, very cool. Nice to finally have this. And on the inside you just have the actual game. I just slipped this on the actual game itself. So that's a very cool physical bonus. I'm still waiting for a couple of bonuses, like soundtrack, an art book, stuff like that. But it's coming eventually down the road. Also, if you've been playing the game, you want to keep your eyes peeled because the next update, they're not quite sure when it's going to roll out. It might be April or May or June. We're not quite sure when it's going to roll out at this point, but when it's done, it's going to be the biggest update to the game yet. It's going to be a very major update. It's going to add single-player challenges. It's going to refine the Unreal Engine. It's going to have a new counselor. It's going to have weapon swapping, which means that you can use any weapon with any Jason skin, which I'm really looking forward to. That's a very cool idea. Glad they finally added that. And just a lot of other stuff. It's going to be added in this one huge update. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be fun, and I will probably make a video about that when it happens. Anyway, that's a cool physical bonus for backers of Friday the 13th, the game on Kickstarter. And then we have this beautiful limited edition Steelbook edition of Suspiria by Dario Argento. There's a funny story behind this, and I'm going to make a more detailed video about Suspiria in the future. But I already had another Steelbook on pre-order, still do actually, because I backed the Region B Cult Films Steelbook edition of Suspiria, which is coming eventually. It's going to come down the line, so I'm actually going to have two of them. But I was looking at one of my favorite blogs, Land of Whimsy, It's by a wonderful Scottish man called Michael Mackenzie. He is very, very well versed on Italian giallo films and Italian horror films in particular. And he has a fantastic blog where he compares the most recent editions of Suspiria, because there's been a big 40th anniversary 4K restoration recently, but there are different versions, there are different restorations. This one from Synapse Films is the best. Clearly the best. When I compared the screenshots on that site, I was like, holy crap, the difference is like night and day almost. So I was like, god damn it, I'm gonna need this one. But this Steelbook is sold out, entirely sold out. So I jumped on eBay and started bidding on it, and I was able to snag this beautiful limited edition, highly limited. It's limited to 6,000 copies, this thing. But I was able to secure this for about $70 or $80. And I think that's a very fair price, considering how limited this thing is and how much it's probably just going to go up and up in price, to the point where in a year or two you're probably not even going to be able to get this for less than $200-300. That's my guess anyway. So I jumped on this, even though this is region A locked and I don't have the ability to play the actual movie at this point, but I am looking into a cheap region-free Blu-ray player at last. It's just been something I've been nagging about for years on end, but they're not really that expensive, so I'm actually gonna invest in one of those down the line at some point, in like a couple of months maybe. We'll see. But anyway, I'm not gonna do a whole detailed thing about this. It's a very beautiful Steelbook. It's comes with 3 discs, 2 Blu-ray discs, and the soundtrack CD, which is fantastic. Gorgeous artwork. There's a booklet inside. I'll show you the actual Steelbook itself. This is just a cardboard slipcover. It was a little bit bent in transit, but it's okay, works. This is the look of the actual Steelbook itself. Gorgeous artwork here, and well worth the money. And then you open this up, and then it's just jam-packed with stuff. There's the soundtrack CD. This is actually a slip on the back, which, you know, details all the stuff that's in here. Beautiful booklet, Synapse Films booklet, 2 Blu-ray discs, and a gorgeous restoration of this classic Italian horror film. Again, I'm not going to go into this in full detail, because when I get the other Steelbook, the other edition of Suspiria, I want to make a really lengthy video comparing the two and talking about the differences between them and which one you should buy, which one you should avoid, which one is better, because they are both probably great, but very different. The 2 major differences between the two, right off the bat. This one is region A locked, so you need a region-free player if you live in Europe. If you live in the States, you're fine. The other one is region B locked, so you need a region-free player if you live in the States to watch that one, but if you live in Europe, you're fine. And this one has Blu-ray discs, but it doesn't have an actual 4K disc, and the other one will have an actual 4K disc. So those are the major differences between them. I'm not going to go into full detail about this at this point, but I am going to make a really detailed comparison video so that you can compare and contrast, because both of these Steelbooks are highly limited and highly difficult to get your hands on, unless you go by eBay or some other source. But you can still buy them both in single disc editions, and you can do that right away. You can do that today if you want to. So that's Synapse Films in the US and Cult Films in Europe. So just to give you a heads up. Anyway, that's one I'm going to dig into in a future video, but I'm very, very happy to have this, because it's a gorgeous, beautiful set, a really elaborate set of a classic, gorgeous masterpiece of an Italian horror film. Also, we all know that Grease is the word. It's been about 12 years now since we got this beautiful T-Bird DVD edition of Grease, which I remember fondly. In Sweden, you could only get the leather jacket edition with the T-Birds logo on the back, but I was happy to get that one. I think in the States you could also get the Pink Ladies jacket cover, but that was not available in Sweden. Anyway, what's my point with all this? Well, there's a brand new edition of Grease, which just arrived in the mail today. It's celebrating its 40th anniversary, came out in 1978. And this is a 2-movie collection with Grease and Grease 2 in a new beautiful Steelbook. And this Steelbook is designed to look like a locker, a school locker. And it even contains customizable locker magnets inside. So that's a pretty fun thing. Here's the new 40th anniversary Steelbook edition of Grease, which includes both movies, Grease and Grease 2, and has customizable locker magnets inside. And here they are. These are your customizable locker magnets. The thing about these is I don't think you can just kind of pop these out. I think you have to, like, I don't know, do you have to cut these out? Or I'm not quite sure how to get these out without actually, because they're not stickers. You're not supposed to peel off the stickers. You're actually supposed to keep these intact so they can fit magnetically onto the Steelbook. So that's, I don't know. I'll have to investigate that later. These are just regular stickers that come with the movie. It's got a brand new restoration from a 4K master. It's got these beautiful magnets. And I think it's also got a brand new sound mix, because I hear people were really, they didn't like the old 5.1 sound mix on the DVD that much. Not quite sure why, but there was something about it that was just off. Maybe it was the mixing or something about it. I don't know the details, but it should be a fun new edition. New bonus Grease, a Chicago story, commentary, and all the old stuff is on there as well. So we'll pop this one open like so. And this is a fun touch. The movies themselves actually look like vinyl records. And of course, these movies are just a lot of fun. I watch Grease every couple of years. You know, it's one of those fun movies that's just wonderful to come back to. Haven't actually seen Grease 2 in decades, though. It's been like, I don't know, I want to say like at least a decade or more, maybe 2 decades. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Very, very long time. So it's going to be interesting to revisit that one as well. Looks like the inside of a locker there. So yeah, beautiful new edition. I'm actually kind of partial to this old DVD with the T-Birds jacket, so I might actually hold on to that just for nostalgic value. It's a real pain in the ass to have this on a shelf, because it's way too big for stacking with regular DVDs, so it can be a real nuisance. It's just a fun, you know, edition. I really like this. I think it's a clever idea, very unique. So got both the jacket and the locker. So what's going to be next? In 10-20 years, they're probably going to do like a, I don't know, a can of Grease or something, and the movie's inside on some digital, you know, read your mind kind of format. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. And the Grease 40th anniversary 2-movie Steelbook collection. The beautiful 3-disc limited edition Steelbook of Dario Argento's Suspiria from Synapse Films. Friday 13th the game, with this nice physical slipcover signed by all the principal people involved in making the game. And we have this beautiful TerrorThreads t-shirt of the 2 Pennywises, one of them lurking underneath. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will be back sometime in the future, but I'm gonna probably take a little summer break for a while, just relax and, you know, take it easy. So I'll catch you when I catch you. Have a great spring. The sun is just popping up today, and it's just getting a little bit warmer for the first time in a long time. So happy spring, take care of yourselves, catch you in the future. Bye. But again, I'm not going to go into this in